Hey, thanks for joining us here on our 33rd installment of Buster's Glitch Ass Gaming Podcast. I'm Tony Flowers, and I'm joined by the rootinest, tootinest cowboy, Oscar Warrior.
That's me. I want to be a cowboy, baby.
Shit, son.
You don't know that video, do you?
No, that sounds like that's a Kid Rock song. I want to be a cowboy, baby. Yeah, that's a Kid Rock song. I want to be
a cowboy, baby. Oh, I might not be familiar with that, but there is like a meme video. I'll show it to you.
Okay, I gotta see it. But yeah, so this episode will be going live on New Year's Day. So Happy New Year, everybody out there.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah. Oh shit, that reminds me, I need to make a new January background for this episode. I might want to get on that. I haven't made a January background yet.
Oh shoot. Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe like some blues and some whites, you know?
Yeah, for wintertime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get real icy in here.
Fuck yeah, dog. And then February, since it's like, that's Valentine's Day, right? Valentine's Day is there and it's all lovey-dovey. We should put some like reds and pinks and whites and stuff. Make it maybe so lovely.
Some browns in there.
Yeah, sure, some brown.
Just throwing a little, because chocolate.
Chocolate, yeah, some dark brown.
Yeah,
ooh, some dark brown, chocolate.
Some dark chocolate, some 60% cacao.
That's actually... I love the way you say it. Cacao. Yeah, we should totally. That's a good idea, actually. At first, I was like, "Wait, what the fuck?"
Yeah, it's for chocolate.
I was thinking, hey, this is the first time she let me stick it in her pooper. So brown.
Whoa!
That's where my mind went because
I mean, you're not wrong. Brown is the color of poop. It should be at least.
Yeah, really. What color is your shit? Let us know. That's like mine's a little more on the doctor. It's on the greenish side.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, but anyways, no matter how excellent your 2025 was, let's hope that 2026 is better for all of us.
Yes, God, please, just give us a break.
Please.
The ball hasn't stopped rolling since 2020.
It has, dude. So, new year, new Oscar Warrior. Do you do New Year's resolutions at all?
I try to, but I'm never really good about sticking with them. I just
Me too.
I just try to improve on my daily routine. Honestly, that's what it's come down to. I'll try to add better habits.
Yeah. I'm exactly the same way. When I really want to do something, I usually just do it. None of that. All right, just after one more time, shit.
Yeah, because the motivation won't always be there. It's better to just make it a habit and continue to do it.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, because like the motivation to quit is now. Why wait until you're done with your pack of smokes or your case of brewskis? Like quit now that you're thinking about it, And for me, that's something I've been struggling with. I've been a pretty heavy drinker for roughly like 15 years, and I'm sober now. It's crazy. And once upon a time, I smoked cigarettes too. So I did it for a really long time. I quit a million times, but then randomly it just stuck. And same with the drink. So yeah, thanks, man. According to my phone, I am 1 month and 12 days sober.
Nice. Congratulations, bud.
Thank you. That's longer than I've been since I started drinking. So here's to that.
Cheers. The only thing I can offer you is water without the carbonation.
Yeah, there's just carbonated water with a little squeezy of lime. Excuse me.
Lemon.
Yeah, excuse me.
Zest.
Yeah, man. So today we're going to be discussing our top 3 picks each for Discovery of the Year. We'll just kind of go back and forth. So since we, like many folks out there, don't have the time or money to play all the latest games, we decided that rather than saying this is the best game of 2025, we're saying this is the best game that I've played for the first time in 2025. So we have games chilling in our wish lists for long periods of time or in our backlog, and maybe we take advantage of a sale or receive games as gifts that didn't release this year, but we're excited about them and we want to acknowledge them, and this is how we're choosing to do that. So the rules are simple. As long as you played it for the first time this year, it's a viable option. Obviously new releases count as well, obviously. So yeah, man.
Those were all mine.
All new releases? Deadass?
I only have new releases, yeah.
Oh shit. All right. Well, why don't you start us off with your first pick, brother?
Okay. My first pick, Silent Hill F. Let me scroll down to my notes for here real quick. So Silent Hill F was kind of a curveball for me. I've never played really anything like it. It was,
That damn salted
came on
water
September
keeps making me
25th.
burp.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Them bubblies.
Sorry, yeah.
That's why I call them bubbly. I know like that's the name of like a different carbonated like water drink, but I call them bubblies because they make
Bubbly,
it burp.
Bubbly is really good as a brand
Yeah.
as well. It's like very, very carbonated, but it's a little more pricey. Like for the same price as 8, you can get a 24 pack of this guy. So I'm like, it's a no brainer for me.
Yeah, and they all taste the same anyway. Just
Yeah. But I'm sorry, but
carbonated
yeah.
water.
So
You're
Silent
okay,
Hill
bud.
F came out when? September?
September 25th, 2025 by Neobards Entertainment. I played this one on the PlayStation 5. I really wanted to play this one because it takes place during like the 1960s time in Japan, kind of recovering after what happened in World War II. And it came out, very close to October, spooky month, the time of Halloween. So I wanted to pick a game to play for the entire month of Halloween that me and my lady ended up playing together. And yeah, it just happened to be Silent Hill F. I really enjoyed it. It was fun as shit. I've never played anything like it. It's my first entry into the Silent Hill series. And I don't even know if it is like within that timeline, I guess, of games, because I don't think it has anything to do with Silent Hill at all, like the first or the second one. But I know there are some things, because I read it online, that there are some things that are hinted at where you can find, I can leave this vague. There's flowers that you see in Silent Hill F that are within or spoken of in the first Silent Hill game or the second one. I can't remember which one it was. But as far as the core experience for the game, it's like a survival horror, kind of like puzzle solving game. You're running around as Hinako. You're trapped in your village essentially as the fog rolls in. And then there's these thick, veiny outgrowths of it's disgusting. You can see them crawling along the walls and up the buildings and shit, and it's just encompassing everything that it touches. It's gross. It really sets the world up nicely, and then you're suddenly attacked by these monsters that are just misshapen and just grotesque as fuck. It's like you don't want them to be around you. It's like, please just get away from me. Don't touch me.
You're just kind of flung into this world. That'd be fucking terrifying.
Immediately, bro. It starts immediately. And you're with your friends at the beginning of the game, and then this fog rolls in with this shit, and it's just you start getting attacked, and it's like, oh my god. It's like everybody scatters. You're all separated and shit.
Without spoilers, do they eventually say what that fog is, or what? Do they tell you anything, or is it kind of left up to you to figure out?
No, but I'm glad that you asked me that, because that kind of brings me to my next point. I really like that about the game, that it kind of leaves everything ambiguous for you to kind of figure out. That's something I really enjoyed about it, is you kind of have to, a part of the puzzle is you kind of have to shape the story in your mind, because nothing is given to you outright. You have to take context clues from what's going on around you and within the cutscenes. And on top of that, you can get supplementary material from the different journal entries, or sometimes you'll find little notes written by other characters within the story before all this stuff happens that kind of leads you up to it essentially. But it's interesting because none of the it takes place between two different worlds, and it switches. It's pretty good. It's pretty well paced between the two. You spend a good amount of time in the real world, at what I call the real world, and then you spend a lot of time what I call Hinako's head, where it's where one is you're in the village, and the other one you're kind of in this made up world where it's shrines and these old Japanese style buildings, and you have to navigate around. I much prefer the Japanese Hinako's head world over the real world, because I feel a lot more powerful in Hinako's head than in in the village. In the village, I'm kind of just have you ever been chased before?
Yeah.
When you were little, you would run around in a circle, and your cousins would chase you, or your friends would chase you, and you kind of get that sense of horror.
Yeah, one time comes to mind. I was running from somebody who I thought was gonna beat the shit out of me when I was a kid. It was once upon a time in Niagara Falls. We lived next to a Salvation Army, and we were toying around with these fucking assholes that were hanging out over there, and they were much older than us, and they started fucking chasing us. And it's the only time in my life that I can think my legs were running too fast for my upper body to keep up, so my legs were out in front of me and my balance was so off.
Yeah.
But that was the most terrifying run of my life, and
you just
totally
wanted to
got caught.
take off. Yeah, that's
Totally
exactly
got
what I'm talking about. You kind of like tuck tail and like you turn and just fucking run. That's
Yeah.
how I felt in the village, bro. That is exactly how I felt like in the village. Every time I ran into a monster, I would just like I would shrink up and I'd just be like, oh my god, I'd get really stiff, you know.
Yeah.
Because I normally don't play horror games. This was probably the first one in a really long time that I've played. No, actually, oh my god, when did Dead Space come out?
The remake?
Yeah,
Still a few years ago.
that was the last one I played. So yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, I don't really do horror games like that. So like this was a nice, and then like just having to play it with my, well, not having to play, but playing it with my wife. Like we kind of had the same reaction every time we ran into a monster. Or there was like a scary tone to like the cutscenes. We were just kind of like we would shrink up in anticipation for like for the monster to come around the corner. And sometimes you wouldn't even expect it. You'd be walking down a hallway and these motherfuckers jump out of a wall or like a window and like just pull you in like a Looney Tunes cartoon. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Fucking
But,
jump scares.
Yeah, I fucking love Silent Hill F, man. It was definitely like it was a good discovery for me this year. Definitely outside of my comfort zone because I don't, like I said, I don't play games like that, and I don't have really anything to compare it to. I would compare it to Dead Space because that's really the only thing that I'm like really familiar with, because it's got kind of the similar like psychological storytelling like tones about it, but this one, Silent Hill F, really leans into it. And then in terms of combat, this game is really combat heavy, but you have to be careful about how you manage your resources because your weapons can break. You have things to repair the weapons, so you have to kind of like use them on, you have to use this repair item, the repair toolkit, wisely to keep your favorite items, because some in my opinion some weapons are better than others. There's some that I really enjoy using, like the little fucking like kitchen knife and shit, because it's fast and it's like I can dodge and shit like really nice, and you can like stab and like you can get in quick and just like you know. So it's like I want to use the repair toolkit for that. But yeah, you can dodge, you know, you have your focus meter, which allows you to like if you can charge up like attacks and shit. Like I think it also opens the window of opportunity for dodging certain attacks as well. And then like on top of that, you get your Omamori. I think they're called Omamori charms. And those kind of just give you like a bonus effect. You know, they'll either give you more health, more stamina, you know, maybe the cone for like visibility for the enemies is smaller. It decreases that so that way you can like get away from them if you really want to. I opted to fight everything I saw because I hated having it in my mind knowing that they would chase me.
Yeah.
Eventually. So it's like, might as well just kill you, you know?
Yeah. Kill that fucker.
Yeah,
Take him down.
Let me kill you before you can like run after me. But yeah, that was my first discovery of the year. I really enjoyed Silent Hill F.
Very nice.
Fantastic
very nice.
title.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot of positive feedback. How long do you know roughly how long the game took you to play off the top of your head?
About 40 hours.
Oh no shit.
No.
Oh okay.
No, hold on. No, I got to think about that one. No,
Okay.
I think I'm thinking of something else. It was way less than 40 hours. I want to say it was like between 10 and 15 hours. It was a quick playthrough.
Oh okay, yeah. So perfect, I think, for a horror game.
I apologize.
That's okay. 40 hours.
I'm thinking of something else. Yeah. No, it's definitely not a 40 hour. It's a 10 to 15 hour playthrough, maybe even less.
Okay. Yeah, very nice, dude. Very good pick for Discovery of the Year. I'm sure a lot of folks would have that on their list. I didn't get to play it, so I can't say.
I highly recommend it. I think it's a game right up your alley.
Okay, yeah, I have it on my wish list. Might get that one on the PS5. Is that where you played it? I think you said? Yeah.
Yeah, I got it on the PS5.
Okay, yeah. Sounds perfect to me. I might have to do that.
Cool. Tell me about your first pick, bro. What did you discover this year?
All right, my first pick for Discovery of the Year, out of all the games I played, recency bias be damned, Ball Pit is one of the best games I played all year.
Ball X Pit.
Yeah, dude, it's okay. So I'm just gonna call it Ball Pit. I don't know if it's Ball X Pit or Cross Pit, whatever the fuck, but it was developed by Kenny Sun and Friends. It released October 15th, 2025 for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch, and later that month for the Switch 2. It was also a day one addition to Game Pass for Ultimate and Premium subscribers, so you can probably still play it there. I'm not positive. I've been playing on the OG Switch, and I just recently started playing this, and I haven't talked about it on the show yet, so forgive me if I talk a little more about this one than the other two. I remember when you and I were introduced to Ball Pit, it was during a Nintendo Indie Partner Showcase, and I remember thinking it looked really cool, but the trailer made me think that it was going to be some crazy hard bullet hell kind of game that I just wouldn't have the patience for, and I was so fucking wrong, dude. I'm so glad I grabbed a copy. It was only like $15, and so basically the more I saw of it, the more interested I got. I was like, this actually looks really fun. And yeah, the game is amazing. It's addicting as fuck. And of course it's fun as hell. And it actually truly does run great on the OG Switch. So it's guaranteed to run great anywhere else. So your character, whoever you pick, they throw magical balls that bounce off of walls and enemies, dealing damage and status effects like bleed and poison. It has that horde of enemies coming at you kind of gameplay, but in a brick breaker kind of setting. They're randomly generated at the top of the screen, and then they slowly march towards you if they reach the bottom of the screen or you get too close to them, because you can walk up and move around at will as well. If you get too close to them, they will attack you, and you have your little health in the bottom left hand corner of the HUD. I guess you can still say there are bullet hell moments in there, especially when it comes to boss fights. But in the first couple of stages, the attacks from these creatures are mainly from getting too close to them and letting them get to the bottom of the screen, because then they just fuck you up, dude. They'll wreck you so fast. As they're marching towards you, some of them will spawn that can shoot like arrows and ice and stuff at you and stuff. So you got to move around and dodge that shit. But it doesn't feel much like a bullet hell until you get to the boss fights. So coupled with your health meter is an experience bar right above it, and when you kill enemies, they drop a number of things. They could drop health, blueprints, gold, gems, and other stuff. The gems are what level you up, so you'll see tons and tons of gems everywhere. You kill them, they drop gems. Go grab those gems, because that's going to fill up your bar, and every time you fill it up, you level up, and every time you level up, you pick one of 3 power-ups to use during that run. You have 4 slots for magic balls, an example being Brood Mother, which basically has a chance of spawning another baby ball every time it bounces off of an enemy. And you have 4 slots for passive bonuses like Bottled Tornado, which has you automatically throw 1 to 3 new baby balls every time you catch one of your special balls. So I don't know if I'm explaining this right. So you have your magic balls, and you also have your baby balls, which are just like the white normal balls. And every character has, unless said otherwise, they all have like maybe 5 or 6 baby balls that they throw around. And as they come back to your character or you catch them, they rethrow them. You can automatically throw them. You can turn off auto throwing, and you can just throw them at will. But I prefer just leaving it on auto all the fucking time, and they just aim your shit, and they'll just kind of go crazy. But yeah, every magical ball and passive can be upgraded to level 3, and after that you can start fusing them together to make room for more balls and make those more powerful. So you can fuse balls to simply combine their effects, or you can evolve them, which still fuses them, but it creates a more powerful ball with new effects. Since I mentioned the Bleed Ball and the Brood Mother Ball, if you combine those, it evolves into a leech that'll attach to an enemy and just apply stacks of bleed, you know? It's a roguelite, so you do a run, you collect stuff, you die, you finish the level, you keep your resources, you unlock permanent upgrades, and you repeat, right? So that's the loop. There are a bunch of characters to unlock, and each one has a unique quirk. Like there's this knight who carries this huge shield. It's kind of like a classic brick breaker, where like you have that almost like that Pong. You've played Pong, right? Where you have that little line there, and you kind of like move it up and down the screen to bounce it back. And so this knight character has one of those. He's like this massive shield that just acts as one of those. And pardon me, every single time a ball bounces off of your shield, it automatically deals double the amount of damage it does. So if you can keep timing it right and keep bouncing the same ball off of your shield over and over again, it keeps doubling and doubling and doubling and doubling. Yeah, you can fucking break the game. It's amazing, dude. There's incentive to jump around and play with all these different characters. Like when you go to your character select screen, there's usually a like, hey, choose this guy and get 20 or 30% more gold during this run. And it's like, all right, cool. And yeah, I should talk about that. When you die or complete a level, you're brought back to a plot of land that you basically build a town on. And the resources that you get from the pit are spent here. You have gold, wheat, and wood and stone. Pardon me. I see, I need to not drink this while we're on the air. It's constant. So you can set up plots to grow all of those things except gold, unless I just haven't unlocked that, but I'm sure. Anyways, so you can harvest your crops. So you got your again, wheat, wood, and stone. You can set little plots to grow that shit, and then you can harvest them every time you return from a run in the pit. And so harvesting works a lot like it does in the pit. Like all of your unlocked characters will act like balls, and they'll bounce off of what you aim them at, and whatever they touch, they harvest, if that makes sense. And you use those harvested resources on buildings. You find blueprints for buildings when you're in the pit, and those can unlock characters or add permanent buffs to your runs. Like there's a barracks that if you build it on your plot of land, it'll give you a permanent +1 strength every time you enter the pit. So whatever you build on your land helps you when you go into the pit. They're all permanent upgrades.
So cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so fucking great. The gameplay loop is so addicting. The game reminds me a lot of Vampire Survivors, which I tried when it first dropped, but it didn't sink its hooks into me like it did for so many others. Whereas Ball Pit has me like I'm thinking about it when I'm not playing it, you know? But if you did like Vampire Survivors, I urge you to give this one a shot. I think you might love it. Or if you found satisfaction in games like Peggle with the ball bouncing physics, there's something really satisfying about that. So if you like that, maybe check this out. The art is beautiful. It's kind of creepy, kind of cute, but all around very appealing. The music works very well for each stage, and it builds an intensity as the run goes on, all the way to the boss fight when it just like it stops and it gets really silent and all you hear is the boss coming at you, and then the music fucking breaks out again into the boss music. It's so cool, man. I love it. All the characters are very clever, very interesting in their own ways, and the amount of ball combinations and effects that you can create are so impressive. Like, you can find combinations that'll just fucking decimate the enemies. If you watched this one run that I had, it looked like I was nonstop firing a fucking minigun that shot flame bullets. It was insane. It was just mowing them down. It was insane. There's a lot of trial and error, just figuring it out as you go. And since playing for the very first time, I'm consistently surprised by this game and what it does. Like when you complete a run in the pit, you'll unlock more balls and passives to find in future runs. Or what some of the characters can do is so cool. What some of the buildings give you the options to do is so cool. And it was fun to just discover all that by myself. So I'd rather just stay vague and just push you to see for yourself. Because yeah, it just consistently surprised me. I'm like, oh shit, you can do that now? Oh, that's this character lets you do what now? It's so fun, man. It's excellent, absolutely excellent. It deserves your attention. And Kenny's son and the crew there have already confirmed that 2026 will bring free content updates to the game. I can't wait, dude. I finished it up. I got all the way down to the very bottom level. I finished it with at least one character. There's incentive to go back and finish every single layer with every single character. And so there's plenty of replay value still left for me. But for now, I'm leaving it alone and saying this is one of the best games I've played all year. It's incredibly good. Yeah, Ball Pit, man. Excellent.
Very nice, dude. You're selling me on it.
It's excellent, dude.
It sounds like fun.
I was really tempted to just pop that fucker out during Friendsgiving and be like, dude, who wants to play this game real quick? Like,
y'all
try
gotta check this shit out.
Yeah, you guys gotta try this. It's so fun.
The Switch into the TV.
And it runs so good on the OG Switch, dude. It loads super fast. There's no waiting periods, and no matter how crazy my runs would get, it never slowed down or anything. It was just great. So it's guaranteed to play even better everywhere else.
That's good to hear. I assume with all like the particle effects and shit going around, like from all the chaos.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Down,
I was like, oh, dude, this is gonna slow the fuck down. And never once, dude. So
good.
Yeah,
Well optimized.
yeah, very well. So yeah, Ball Pit, one of the best games of the year.
Ball X Pit.
Good shit. Back to you, my brother.
My second pick for Discovery of the Year is Donkey Kong X Bonanza.
Donkey Kong.
Dude. All right, so Donkey Kong Bonanza was developed by Nintendo Entertainment Planning and Development, the EDP, which is the same studio that had worked on Super Mario Odyssey previously. I played this game on the Nintendo Switch 2, to be more specifically.
Exclusively.
Exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2. Nowhere else. Can't get it anywhere else. You can't find it anywhere else. But anyway, let me tell you about Donkey Kong Bonanza. I believe, if I'm correct, I don't think there's been another 3D game of Donkey Kong properly 3D besides DK. Oh my God, what was the name of the game? DK 64.
I was gonna say 64.
64. Thank you.
No, I think you're right
back,
about that.
I think came out back all the way in 1991. I don't know why the fuck I didn't put it in my notes, but
No,
not 1991.
99.
99. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I apologize. Thank you so much. No, 99. I wouldn't really count Country Returns or Tropic Thunder because those are more like, would it be like 2.5D?
Yeah, they're like 3D assets on a 2D plane.
On a 2D plane, yeah. So this is like the
kind of
like a proper 3D platformer. And I know I'm kind of jumping the gun, but if I had to compare it to anything, it is very much like Super Mario Odyssey in terms of gameplay and like mechanics. It's very much like it. I know it's been a very long time since I've played Odyssey. I think all the way back since like 2017. So I barely remember it, but it feels very much the same, but just a little bit better. Like they really had time to kind of improve. I think to improve the skills with the tools that they were using, because one of the main things that hooked me about this game was the fucking mechanics of it. It looked really interesting when I was watching the trailer, and it played really, really amazingly. Because like DK is so fluid with his movements, like. I just love it's one of those games where as you travel the world, you're just pressing random buttons because it'll do something like interesting for DK. I'll be rolling for a second and then I'll, do like the little clap thing, the thing where you clap on the ground, or like just a bunch of different like movement mechanic things like that, and then like, yeah, so just it looked really interesting to me. I started playing it. The story is okay. It's a Nintendo game, so it's like it's got that very Nintendo like feel to it. Your main characters are DK and Pauline, with some returning characters thrown into the mix. Ones that I won't spoil. And obviously like a whole cast of like new characters as well. Like you're having to deal with some jackass that is president of what was the name of the corporation? Shoot, I can't remember it off the top of my head. But he's the president of some dickhead corporation that came to your island and is like fucking shit up. DK's he's an outstanding citizen. He's got a job. He's a construction worker. He digs for a living.
He wears a tie.
He wears a tie. He's got the hard hat and everything. And then there's this guy drilling in his drill site, fucking everything up. And, we get stuck with Pauline. And that was also one of my favorite things about the game, is kind of seeing the progression of how DK and Pauline kind of get comfortable with each other. DK naturally is a very goofy character outright. And so he tries to be that with Pauline, like, right off the bat, but she's kind of at the beginning of the game, she's very shy and timid, and a little scared of DK, obviously, because he's kind of a bigger guy. He's a gorilla, so it's like you got to be careful around gorillas. They might just drag you across their drag you across the water in their pen and then get shot later for it.
And the whole world will go to hell right after that.
Yeah, and then the whole world
that'll set everything else in motion.
Yeah, just get cursed by the 17 plagues that Pharaoh. But yeah, Donkey Kong, very rambunctious character. Pauline, very timid. Starts off very timid, but she kind of stumbling over my words here. But she kind of breaks out of her shell as the game progresses, and it's kind of nice to see that adaptation or that progression in her character. She becomes very comfortable with DK and just the world around her. And speaking of the worlds, every single one is very unique. And I love that each world kind of takes a different mechanic and it forms it around that mechanic to create these puzzles that you have to figure out, but they do it in such a way where it really fits. Sorry, I just hit my microphone. It really hits or it really fits the design of the world. It could be like, proper jungle, thick forest, like tropical landscape. There's a beach world where there's like giant fruits and shit all over the place. And you can like, one of my favorite things to do was to like rip chunks from the ground and like, because you can put them underneath your feet and then kind of like throw your arms, kind of like you're like in a skiing motion, and like you're using this material to like surf across the water, and it was so fun to do. And yeah, it's just like, it's stuff like that where they implement the game's mechanics around the world, like the environment around you. I love that shit. There's even a world that's dedicated to like where you're like in a tube almost, and like you just have to dig all the way to the bottom, because that's something that you can do in the game, is you can just destroy the terrain around you if you really wanted to. you can destroy the entire world around you because everything's just destructible. So it's like they really gave you that the pleasure of doing that in this world, because you're just in a long tube, and the whole point of it is to just get to the bottom, just dig down, and as you're progressing downwards, you're finding secrets kind of hidden around you in the dirt. It's incentivized to kind of like break things around you to see if you can't find more Banandium gems or the uranium coins hidden around, or maybe like a little side quest that you can do for somebody. It's very fun. And the NPCs were also really fun to see, because each world is themed, and on top of that, their NPCs are themed with that world. So like sometimes you'll run into monkeys, different animals like zebras. You run into ostriches at one point. The snakes are by far like my favorite ones, because they have like the little bushwhack kind of gear on. they try to like talk all sophisticated and shit, and they have like that snake. They always, the S's in their words, they pronounce them with like that.
Yeah.
So it was just really funny to me. I got a really good chuckle out of that. And then DK gets a lot of love too. Like there's so many things you can do with him in terms of movement, and like they expand on that by having him transform into these different animals, and like that just allow you to either be better at destroying the world around you, or allowing you to progress, maybe travel to like really far off parts of the land that you may not be able to access as DK. Jump really high, you can glide, run really fast, and they also incorporate those abilities around the environment as well. So you're incentivized to use those powers to solve puzzles or to fight certain enemies. A lot of the time too, you didn't even really need the abilities. Like you could just brute force your way to like solving a puzzle without the need of, I call it the hard mode version of solving the puzzle, because it's like there's certain things you can do, or like you have like this double jump, and then Donkey Kong can kind of clap in the air to give himself like extra air time. That way he's traveling a little bit longer. It's kind of very reminiscent to like Odyssey, where like you could do the jump with Mario, jump off the hat, and then you can like, he does the dive, and then you throw the hat, and then you can dive towards the hat and then jump off the hat. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. You can kind of like cheat the game into getting a lot farther or something.
Exactly.
Almost. Yeah.
And you can like jump off the walls, and like if you time everything right, you can like reach these really high platforms or really far away platforms just by doing it the hard way, like the non-intended way.
Right.
You can do the same thing in Bananza. Like if you just use the mechanics that you have at hand with base Donkey Kong, you can reach like really high areas or really far off areas.
Just takes a little bit of timing and all that.
Exactly. Like that.
Gotcha.
That's something that I loved about that game as well. Yeah, it's just beautiful game, beautiful environments that they kind of take you through. The story is awesome. The ending is something I wish I could talk about, but I have to leave it. I cannot talk about it at all, but it was something that left me very, very excited for the future of the DK franchise. I very strongly recommend, if you're a DK fan, play this one, especially for the ending, but I think anybody could jump in. Really anybody, but like especially if you're a DK fan, like you'll fucking love this game. It is so much fun. It's hours of fun, and like I 100%ed it, but I know there's more after the game ends. Like there's more that you can do, but I kind of wanted to like leave it be, like I think for me it ended in a good spot. Like I got everything that I needed to get, and I didn't want anything more from it. So like there's extra content for people that like solving puzzles or doing challenges, like challenge runs. Like Yeah, I'll just leave it like that. Like just challenges, extra challenges, more things to collect. There's more for people there for people that want to do that. But yeah, I highly recommend everybody plays this game.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's amazing, and that's why it's one of my discoveries of the year.
Yeah, and when you talk about Donkey Kong fans, man, I'm definitely one of them. As soon as I get a Switch 2, whenever that is, that's the first game on my list, 100%.
You're gonna love it, dude. Please, when you get it, tell me what you think of the ending, because good lord.
Will do.
It left me with goosebumps.
Oh, that's
oh my
so
God.
exciting, man. It pisses me off that I can't do it now.
Gave me goose pimples, bro. The neck, like the hair on the back of my neck was like standing on end. Oh my
Just
God.
made you geek the fuck out. Well, the one question I had meant to ask you since day one is how it actually runs on the Switch 2. Does it run really well? Loading time's good? And have you noticed any hiccups or anything that might bother folks that are really into high fidelity shit or high FPS? What do you think? Did it run pretty good?
It honestly ran really good. The only time I think I ever had trouble with the game was when I was destroying stuff a little bit too quickly. Because when you destroy stuff, it kind of adds more particles to the world.
Okay.
So it's like you got to be careful with a certain ability because it's not like bad, but it'll noticeably slow down your game.
Okay.
There are certain parts where it does slow down, and I know Nintendo, the development team had mentioned it that some parts were intentional to slow down, but it's fine. Honestly, I didn't really care about it. It wasn't that bad.
Very cool. So there's still one more game that you haven't talked about that you enjoyed even more than that.
Yeah,
I actually thought that was going to be. Oh yeah, I do. 100%.
You know what it is. You know what it is.
Well,
yeah, I thought about it long and hard. I thought this one was going to be my top one, but this next one I have is
that's your number one, huh?
Yeah,
right.
You know why.
Okay, we'll get to that. Stay tuned, folks. All right.
Yeah.
My number 2 discovery of the year has to go to Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, developed by Kojima Productions, released June 26, 2025 for PS5 with a PC release somewhere down the line. Not confirmed yet, but yeah, it's coming. It's coming. So I know I've said this before on the show, but I'll repeat myself because I think it's important. When I heard that Kojima was making Death Stranding 2, I was kind of disappointed because as much as I loved that game, I didn't want more of it, right? Mm-hmm. But now that I'm done with the second game, if he wanted to make a third one, I'd be stoked. I'd be fucking stoked. It's a Kojima game in every sense of it. I love how in his games, the settings, the characters, their abilities, the story, the main purpose for all of that are basically to allow Kojima to come up with a bunch of interesting and unique game mechanics and boss fights and fourth wall breaking moments. It's like everything in the game is to serve those purposes. And I love that. I love how he frequently includes so many people that he respects in his art, and he gives them cameos. That's one of the things I've always appreciated about him. And he does it in such a way where it never detracts from his vision at all. It never feels shoehorned in or forced in any way. So like in Metal Gear, you can go around blasting everyone to your heart's content, or you can go stealthy boy, which is the way I like playing his games. The steady drip feed of new gear throughout the game is one of my favorite things about it. It keeps the game fresh, lets you experiment without bogging you down with too much too soon. I really like that about his games. I like that in games generally. Like if there's a steady drip feed of extra stuff, extra little gizmos and things to toy around with as you continue to play, it's way better than just slamming me with everything at once. I hate that shit. Let's see. The game is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It runs on the Decima engine, the same one used for Horizon. The environment and the lighting, it looks incredible. Whether you're climbing up a snow-covered mountain, walking through a desert or a jungle or a ruined city, it just looks amazing all around, all the time. You can literally just go into photo mode, snap a photo at any given moment, and it would be a wonderful background. Beautiful. The character models are some of the highest quality I've ever seen. And speaking of which, Yoji Shinkawa, who worked with Kojima, I think since the very beginning of their tenure as game developers, his work here is awesome. As usual, he designs the characters, the outfits, the vehicles, the mechs. his vehicle designs especially are so fucking cool with the amount of detail he puts into them. They seem so plausible in the real world. You know, if money wasn't a thing, I bet his ideas could actually be built, no problem. It's so impressive. You can like walk up to one of your vehicles and just kind of like zoom the camera in on it and look at all the little intricate details this guy puts into that shit. It's incredible, man.
It's honestly like such an impressive skill when people can do that, because it's like, how do you even imagine something like that, you know?
I know, I was thinking like this guy must be some sort of like fucking engineer or something, but he's not. Not.
Just obsessed with moving parts and just feats of engineering itself.
Yeah, he's incredible. He's always been incredible. Like all the Metal Gear vehicles and enemies and mechs and all that shit, he's always been amazing. So his work is on full display in here. It's great. Let's see the story. The story takes place 11 months after the first game ends, and you know, good old Sam Porter Bridges has to travel across Australia to connect its isolated inhabitants to the chiral network, like he did for the United States in the first game. That's basically the premise of the story, right? It's a third person action open world game that has a really cool story if you let yourself be absorbed by it. Some really cool characters, some great story moments that'll have you in your feels one moment and cringing at the dialogue the next. Like, without spoiling anything, the story is really bold in its direction, and like I said, pretty emotional at times. It's about human connection, the will to keep pushing forward, and personal loss. There's a lot of that in there. The acting is good all around. I believe her name is pronounced Leah Sado, who plays Fragile. Norman Reedus is in there, obviously. Elle Fanning is in there. Luca Marinelli, he's in there. And especially Troy Baker as Higgs. He fucking stole the show, but they were all great. The cringy moments are mainly due to things being lost in translation, just like in the Metal Gear games, but I'm here for that shit. I love that shit in Kojima games. Like, take something so seriously and then throw some dialogue in there that just, there's something missing, you know? Like, it probably sounds exactly as intended in the Japanese, but then when it moves over to English, it just sounds like, you bet.
It's so cringy. Yeah, it's so cringy. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, dude. But I love it. Love it. I'm here for it. So that doesn't bother me at all. It fills me with happiness. You have to also give props to the strand system that Kojima made for the series. You never see any other players, but in any part of the map that you've connected to the chiral network, you'll see smaller structures that they've built. You'll have access to any items, gear, or vehicles that they leave behind. You can donate materials to larger structures like road segments that require some collaboration, unless you're a fucking maniac and you do the whole thing by yourself. It takes a lot of time and dedication to getting all that, all the materials. If you want, well, the game wants everyone to help each other in big ways and in small ways, and it's not only a really beautiful message, but it's really cool to see it all come together in the game. The music is wonderful, like it was in the first game. An artist named Woodkid, or called Woodkid, did the theme song for this game called To the Wilder, which fits the tone so perfectly. Great song. Those moments, I've mentioned it before, but those moments where you have a high stack of goods on your back, you could just barely see your destination off in the distance, and then the camera pans out, you can just hear him like making his way, just you hear the footsteps in whatever terrain it is, and you can hear him breathing, and just kind of like, you can picture yourself in that setting, and the camera pans out, a song starts while you're continuing on, and the title and the artist of the song that's playing pops up in the corner, and it just like, those are my favorite moments in this game. They're just so beautifully done. I love that. And it was probably my favorite part of the first game too. Just those moments, just really, they're amazing. So the game can look really eccentric or even nonsensical to some. Like if you watch the trailers and some of that stuff, it can really be over the top. But if you can embrace that about it, this is an unmissable experience and one of the absolute best. that you can play. So, and it's one of the best games I played this year, which also happened to release this year. But still, yeah. Death Stranding 2 is excellent. Loved it. I wouldn't personally recommend playing it without playing the first one first. But if you wanted to, there is a recap of the first game's story when you turn the game on. If you want it, it's right there. So, or you could just watch a video because the first one was so much more. Again, I loved it. I loved the first game very much. I had little minor gripes, but nothing that really like knocked it down for me at all in terms of adoration for it. But it was more mixed in terms of how people felt about it than this one. People seem to really love this one. So yeah, maybe if you watch a video telling you all about what goes on in the first game and then jump into the second game, that could probably be just as good. Yeah. So if you don't want to chance it and then potentially get turned off by how little you like the first game. Kevin played it and he really liked it, but he's not ready for the second one yet. He was like, I think I've had my fill of this kind of gameplay for a while. So yeah, but it's cool. It's cool to see that he really appreciated it. And but
because I've heard the second one is like, if you just really enjoyed the first game, you're gonna get more with the second, basically.
Yeah, and I remember when I first started talking about it on the show, I was really confused. I was like, it's so similar to the first game that I don't understand why so many people, why it's like universally loved this time and it was kind of in the middle last time, because they feel so similar. It's incredibly similar. It's just that the biggest difference for me between the first and second is now there's a lot more shooting and stuff like that. So there's a lot more of that right out of the gate. There's a lot more vehicles and stuff like that right out of the gate. In the first game, you had to earn your fucking vehicles and stuff like that. So it took a lot longer to get to those moments. So that's the biggest difference, honestly. So if you don't like the idea of like fuck, it's gonna be a minute before I start unlocking the easier routes to bring these goods places, or I want to shoot somebody in the fucking face, you might not want the first game. The first game's very secluded, very slow paced, and once it picks up, it picks the fuck up. But still, like those first 3 chapters are really,
you gotta grind it.
Yeah. But yeah, in conclusion, Death Stranding 2 fucking rules. Check it out.
I agree. That's a game on my radar as well. Both the first one and the second one. I'd probably start with the first one.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, just make sure you're... Because, the story can be very nonsensical if you look at it from a grounded in reality perspective. But if you let yourself be carried away by the whimsical, and like this is a different universe, and he's trying to lay the grounds for and the rules. These are the rules of this universe. This is what's happening here. Then if you let yourself be absorbed by it, it could be amazing.
It's kind of like a post-apocalyptic world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Setting.
Yeah. When the first game came out, it was, I want to say it was right in the middle of fucking COVID or right in the beginning of COVID. So it was like so fucking, it was weird, almost weird.
The perfect time for it.
Yeah, because everybody in the game was secluded and they were isolated. And so it spoke very, very candidly about what the whole world was going through in that time. It was kind of creepy in a sense, like, holy shit, he's been making this game for years and it just came out during COVID. Holy fuck, this guy just saw the future coming a mile away or something. Like the timing was crazy.
Yeah, it's like he predicted it.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
We need to fucking study that, man.
We got it. Someone, when he passes, keep his cadaver for studies.
Or just fucking throw a bag over his head, bring him into a lab. We need to figure out what's going on in that brain of his. No, don't ever touch him. Don't you fucking touch him, you maniacs.
We gotta poke around inside of him.
Hey, you leave that man alone. All right, back to you, my brother. What do you got? Number one. What is your number one discovery of the year?
My number one discovery of the year, bro. You already know what it is.
I totally do.
Do you know what it is?
Yes.
All right. My pick for the number one discovery of the year for me is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
X, wasn't it?
No,
Wait.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, it is X.
Oh, okay. Shit, what the fuck, dog?
No, I didn't play Definitive Edition this year. I think I had just finished it before X came out.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me talk my shit real quick.
Please. Why is this the best game of the year for you?
It was developed by Monolith Soft for the Nintendo Switch. This is a Xenoblade game that I've been wanting to play, and I had finally had the chance back in March of 2025 when Nintendo announced the definitive edition for the game coming to the Switch. This game originally came out during the Wii U era back in April 29th, 2015, almost a decade ago.
Holy
and
shit.
I finally got my chance to play it.
Holy shit.
A decade ago, bro. And they made it. I was looking at like before and after pictures of what the game looked like. I think they improved it so significantly. It looks so much better than the original. They did kind of keep a lot of the same elements of the game. Like everything's pretty much the same. They just kind of gave the models a bit of a touch up. But regardless of that, I played it for the first time this year and I was awestruck. I couldn't believe it. This game is the game that I sank so much time into, and I think I could continue to sink more time into, because I don't think I got a full playthrough of the game, because I kept discovering more and more as I played the game more, and that's something I love about it. Let me talk about the mechanics real quick. Let me tell you, or should I talk about the world? Let me start off by talking about the world, actually.
Okay.
Because it takes place on this planet that you crash land on, with like a Noah's Ark type situation where humanity is like, this is the last of humanity on this ark. That's like, they call it the whale, right? And so you're traveling through space, you find this planet, you crash land, everybody's kind of lost, some people survive. You're rescued from a pod because if you're one of those survivors, but you were in stasis for the longest time, so you don't know how long you've been out, but long enough for these people to kind of make a colony on this planet, right? So you're rescued by one of the main characters of the series named Elma, right? Total babe. You're rescued by this total babe, and you're basically taken through the wild, given a tutorial of how the mechanics work, and then eventually you make your way to New Los Angeles, is what they call this colony. They called it New Los Angeles. And one of my favorite things about the game was this shot of the cutscene where it's like, it starts off, you're almost kind of introducing you to the first time you're getting to the city, she's introducing you to everything. And it's just this, you see Elma in the foreground, and then the camera kind of pans out and you see just all of New Los Angeles, and like, oh my god, it was so magical just seeing everything, because it's like, it's so interesting how they took like this sci-fi element where it's like this in certain areas it's kind of like there's tanks and like different kind of military vehicles, and like there's mechas and shit walking around too, right? And then like weirdly enough, in this other section of New Los Angeles, it's like suburbs and shit, and like you have a church right in the middle. Yeah, just like bustling like city life. You got all these NPCs kind of like living their own lives and shit. And then like New Los Angeles is your hub world, essentially. You do everything from there. Most of the time you accept your quests, like your main story quests and like your side quests. There's so many different types of quests, but they each serve their purpose, right? There's like, because you have your main cast of characters, but on top of that, you have, oh man, how many characters are playable? I think like 20 something characters are playable. I could be totally wrong about that, totally wrong, but they're all unique in their own way. Your character is the only one that you can really customize in a very complex way. With the class system, everyone else, they're assigned a class and you can't change it. So, but the thing that's nice about that is they all specialize within that thing, so you don't really have to worry about them too much. You just optimize them for that class and they'll generally tend to do very well at what they do. And you can play as these characters as well. You don't have to play as your main character. The only time you're forced to actually play as your main character is if you're doing like main story missions. Like you have to have certain characters because the cutscenes need these characters to play out essentially for the main story. But you can play as anybody. You can play as Elma or any of the other cast members, right? You can customize them by weapons, by the armor that they have. And it's cool too, because for most games, when you do stuff like that, they won't allow you to, like how in most RPGs, when you put on new armor, it's not like you're actually putting on new armor and it changes the look of the character. Mm-hmm. They kind of just keep the same thing. In this game, it does change how you look.
That's sick.
Yeah, and it does the same with the weapons, but you have the freedom to choose what you want to wear. So like if you want to keep the stats of a certain weapon, you can change the way it looks instead. If you don't like, if a weapon or a piece of armor is really ugly and you don't like it, if you unlocked I say unlock, but it's more like buy, because you're mostly buying your items in that game. There's also kind of like a level cap to it, but once you buy a certain armor set or like a certain weapon, you kind of unlock the cosmetic for it. So
Okay.
if you really like the way a weapon looks, you can take the stats from another weapon and then just have the cosmetic layered on top of it.
That's bitchin'. I like that.
And then that way you can kind of just keep a certain look. I kept my character looking a certain way the entire like playthrough. And as I unlocked more armors, I would just take whichever ones I liked, and I would put them. I would kind of upgrade my armor as I went. I made myself look more cool and shit,
Right.
By the end of it, I was wearing like a tracksuit. Like I was looking real fucking sick in my tracksuit, and I had like fucking shades on and shit, dude. I was sick as fuck. So, yeah, I'd be like in these really like serious cutscenes, and then my character's just looking like a fucking goofball in the background. That's one mechanic that I really enjoyed about the game, is just how deep the customization goes, because it's not only in the weapons and like the stats of the weapons and then the armors and the stats of the armors, it's in your classes as well. You have subclasses, you have like different status effects and shit that you can like throw on there with oh my god, what were they called? I think they were called cores. You could add cores to your weapons as well and onto your armors, so if there were certain stats that you wanted, you could buff them or bring stats that you wanted using these kind of like gem. I can't remember what they're called. I don't remember if they're like gems or cores. I'm gonna go with gems because I like the word gem. You can take these gems and add them to your armor to get that stat that you want, and then oh my god, that was such a game changer when I learned how to do that, because it's so much. They kind of throw a lot. That was kind of like a negative thing, is it's so much that you kind of it takes time to like play around with everything and then like see what you like. I'm not gonna lie, this game is kind of difficult if you don't know what you're doing, but if you take the time to learn the system, it's kind of like the same with every Xenoblade game. Xenoblade 1 and 2 can be difficult if you don't understand the system that well. Like it takes a bit of time to kind of get the combat down. But once you discover it, man, oh my god, it's so gratifying, because you can each class has its own weapon that it's assigned to. So like you can do like dual assault rifles, or like akimbo pistols, or like akimbo swords and shit, or like a shield, or like the big fucking like laser weapons and shit, dude. It's so awesome. But like each one you can customize and improve the stats for, to where you can make it a viable class throughout the game. There are certain builds that are better than others, but everything is viable if you build for it accordingly.
Okay.
So it's like you really don't have to. I got really good. So like, sorry, I keep burping. So the best class in the game is one that allows you to use the akimbo SMGs, I want to say, or the assault rifles. I can't remember which one off the top of my head, and then akimbo swords, because it gives you really strong abilities, and you can just like, you can one-shot things most of the time in the game. And if you don't one-shot it, you can basically make yourself invincible, to where you can just wear the health out over time and beat most. Like you can beat most super bosses at a really low level. Like they'll be at like level, the cap is 99, but they'll be like at level 112 or some shit, right? And you're just like a level of like 40, maybe even, I've seen people do crazy shit with like level 1, where you just get the right stuff, and as a level 1 character, you can fight this super boss, and eventually you'll beat it. It'll just take a long time, but you'll be able to survive taking all the hits and everything. It's amazing, bro. It's so gratifying.
That's dope, dude.
That's definitely something that hooked me on this game. Not just the name, the like Xenoblade Chronicles, but the battle system is so addicting. It's incredibly addicting, and like it's just so customizable. It's amazing. Like, oh my god, I can't. I'm just gushing about it. Like I haven't even like touched the story at all or anything. The story's, honestly, I didn't even really pay attention much to the story. So like, you crash land on this planet, right? It's Mira, and your job basically is to do kind of the same thing that Elma's doing when she rescued you. You have to go out and kind of find people out in the wild and rescue them, but you're also looking for parts of the whale that kind of separated during the crash landing part. So you have to look for these pieces to help rebuild the whale, and to kind of just help people's lives be better on Mira, because they need materials to rebuild, to build their colony and to kind of rebuild, human society, essentially.
Okay.
And then as the game progresses, you kind of run across different races of aliens that are either really hostile or really friendly. And it's really cool because you'll kind of bring them into your colony and they'll meld really well with human society, and you'll see them throughout the game, and like they'll give you side quests as well, and they'll allow you to unlock different sets of armor as well as different types of weapons. It's so funny because they'll set up their own weapons manufacturers, and they'll start selling stuff to like the humans and shit, and you can buy like different armors and weapons and stuff from them, and it's so funny how easily we get along with them. But it's through mutual, how do I want to word this? I guess it's mutual for both, or beneficial for both, because there's the main bad guy, right, of the game, and they're being assholes to kind of everybody. So that just makes it really easy for the people of Mira, or I guess I should say the people of New Los Angeles, to kind of incorporate all these different alien races, because it's like we're all being bullied by this asshole race of space aliens, and even with like those assholes, there's a different sect of them that kind of what's the word, dissented, is that what I'm trying to say, when somebody like leaves or branches off because they don't really they don't particularly like the ideology of these guys, because they're really aggressive. But even though they're the same species, they branch off and they kind of like join us in our pursuit to kind of help everybody, and just make a new life on this planet that we crash land on. So that was really fun to kind of go through and discover all these different races and like do all the side quests for them. And if you really take your time to kind of like, I really enjoy the effort that Monolith Soft put into kind of fleshing out the world, because on top of the main story, you also get a lot of supplemental content with like side quests and shit. Because on top of like getting things from doing those side quests, you also get a lot of story, and it does kind of progress and add things around you. It really makes it feel like you're making a difference in the world around you, right? Like the things that you do actually have consequence, and it's usually for the better. Like the world changes around you as you do these side quests, not even through like main story quests, it's through the side quests too, that like the world just changes around you. You can unlock new parts of town, these races, you start seeing them more and more everywhere around Mira. and everything's just kind of cohesive. Yeah, honestly, I could go on forever about this game, but yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles X, man, fucking, I enjoyed it so much, and I honestly think I could find myself playing it again, maybe like a new game plus playthrough. Yeah, because there was so many mechanics to it, bro, that I didn't fully learn or get a grasp of. So I'd like to go back and kind of see what changes in my second playthrough. Like if I could optimize certain things better. Now that I have the knowledge to know what I need, and then I can get better at the things that I missed.
Right, like kind of focus more on those this time around.
Exactly. And just kind of get better. See like if I can experiment and optimize my runs, because I really did struggle at the beginning of the game. I didn't hate it. I knew why I was struggling. I'll basically just have an easier time, and it'll still be so enjoyable. But yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles X, my top discovery of the year. This one takes the cake.
The only question I really have is for anybody who's never played any Xenoblade games, is this a standalone? Does this fit somewhere in particular in the storyline?
Yes and no. So it's a standalone game. It doesn't share any elements besides like some of the combat mechanics with like the old games. They're very similar, but with Xenoblade X, it's way more complex. It's incredibly enjoyable, but it's way more complex.
In terms of story, is this a prequel? Does it fit within that? Like, because I know there's Xenoblade 1 and 2, right? There's not a third one yet?
Yeah.
Or is there?
So
there is, yeah?
There is a third one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So the thing with Xenoblade Chronicles is the games aren't really connected with each other, but they are in a sense. It's kind of like a weird multiverse thing going on.
Okay. Kind of like in Final Fantasy, how they all have certain elements, but like they all have chocobos, or they all have a character named Sid or something like that.
Yes, they share elements. I don't want to spoil anything, but what I said isn't really technically a spoiler, because it's very much like a multiverse situation, but not really. You really have to kind of play the games in chronological order to figure it out. But that's the thing that's awesome about Xenoblade, is you don't have to play them in chronological order. Like I started with 2, and what happened in 2, I didn't need to know to understand what happened. Or I guess I should start from the beginning. Xenoblade 1, since I started with 2, I didn't need to know anything that happened in the first game to enjoy the second one.
And when you went back to play the first one, were there little things that you were just like, oh, okay, I get that, but it's not necessary?
Some things it's not necessary. You'll only run into those things up until the very end of the game. They're saved mainly for like the main story purposes, but usually at the very ends of the games. And that is the same structure for each Xenoblade game.
Gotcha.
Xenoblade 1, X, 2. If you're looking at release dates, it would be 1, X, and then 2, and then 3. But like I said, they are connected, but not really.
Gotcha.
So you can jump into either of them and enjoy them. And then once you get to the end of the game, you'll kind of see they make references to the other games. And then if you go back and play any of the other games, you'll see those. You'll kind of start connecting the dots.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but realistically, you can jump into any of them and enjoy like any of them. For me, they're all kind of like standalone games, and I love all of them. Except
awesome.
for 3. I haven't played 3 yet, but I'm getting there.
Gotta get on that.
I know. I gotta finish my replay of 2.
Xenoblade Chronicles X. That one, you said, wait, so originally that came out 10 years plus ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago. Yeah, 2015.
But it actually came to the Switch this year?
This year, yeah. Definitive edition. Highly recommend it. It's actually really fucking fun. It's very fun.
That's dope, dude.
Just take your time with it. It's a slow burn, but it's definitely well worth it. You'll feel very, very gratified if you learn everything about the game.
Sweet. Super sweet. Number 1.
All right. Yeah. Tell me about your number 1, brother, since I had all this time to geek.
Dog. Well, it's kind of funny because they share a little bit in common, this game and the one you brought up, because it came out like 10 years ago. My number 1 discovery of the year is Tabletop Simulator, developed by Berserk Games. It released June 5th of 2015, exclusively for PC. Yeah, 2015 game. My favorite game of the year, man. I told this story on the show before, but I found out about Tabletop Simulator from a friend at work. I don't remember what he said he was playing, but he said that people were recreating real life board games in it, and that's the part that stuck with me in that story. So one day I came across an expensive ass board game called Nemesis that I wanted to try, but I didn't have the money or the space for it. And that conversation popped into my mind. I looked up Tabletop on Steam. I searched the workshop and I found not only Nemesis, but its sequels and every expansion for each one. And so I dropped the 20 bucks. Cool. Yeah, dude, that alone could be upwards of $1,000+ right there. And it had all of them, like exactly as you would see them in real life. Those are like real 3. I don't know how the fuck they got these actual the actual assets, the actual board pieces, the actual cards, the characters, everything. Like people are scanning these perfectly into the game, and it's like you have a digital copy of a real life board game. And all it's crazy. I dropped that $20 so fucking fast, bro. So fast. But yeah, so Tabletop Simulator is more of an engine than a game. It's a physics-based sandbox that gives you the tools to create cards, dice, miniatures, tables. You can flick the pieces. You can stack and shuffle the cards. You could flip the fucking table if you want. There's an achievement for it. It's so stupid. I love that. And if you're savvy, you can even add scripting to the game so that some things happen automatically, like game setup and everything. A game like Nemesis looks like it might take 20 or more minutes to physically set up, but in Tabletop Simulator, it's instant. You click a button, you pick your guy, and then it automatically shuffles everything and places everything exactly where it needs to be, and you're just ready to play in seconds versus 20+ minutes to do it in real life. Plus, in a longer session, rather than leaving everything out on the table until next time, you can just save your progress and come back later. And there's this neat little feature that I use where I add text to a spot on my table that tells me where to pick up from. So you could just I just write medic's turn, then intruders, and then I'll zoom in on that, save the game. So that's my save game snapshot. And then the next time I play, I open it up and it says it's the medic's turn, then the intruders. So I know exactly where to go from there. And then I just delete that text off the table the next time I jump in. So very awesome. I love that. So when you buy the game, it has, I want to say 15 maybe classic games included with it, like chess. There's some DLC for officially licensed games like Gloomhaven, but the main appeal here is the workshop content made by the community, and Gloomhaven is in there, so you don't technically have to buy the DLC to play Gloomhaven. You could just go into the workshop, find Gloomhaven that somebody uploaded as a mod, and it's exactly, dude, it's perfect. It's perfect. They've reproduced practically every board game, card game, or tabletop RPG that you can think of. Everyone, almost every one of them. Obviously, not all of them, but hey, for board game lovers, here's a list I put together real quick of come here, you little fucker. So here's a list of some of the games that I've found and tested so far. All of these work, and they're wonderful. Patchwork, Jaipur, Plunder, A Pirate's Life, Battleship, A Feast for Odin, Arc Nova, Burn Cycle, Too Many Bones, which I'm playing right now. I love that game. It's fucking awesome. Cloud Spire, Sleeping Gods, Legacy of You, Endeavor Deep Sea, Res Arcana, The Night Cage, Deep Regrets, the Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 board games, Sorry, Root, Cards Against Humanity, Fallout Monopoly, and a bunch of other monopolies, Clue, and a bunch of different kinds of Clue, The Game of Life, Settlers of Catan, Uno, Terraforming Mars, Mage Knight, Spirit Island, Nemesis Lockdown, and Fire Tower. Those are all the ones that I've tested so far, and they all work wonderfully. It's like you actually have those real life games. And some of those games I mentioned are fucking ridiculous. Dude, if you want Too Many Bones, the one I'm playing right now, it's a chip theory game. If you look up fucking Too Many Bones, it's like $120 something for the base game, and that's another one. It has a ton of DLC. It has a ton of expansion packs that if you were to buy all of it, that's like $1,000+ for Too Many Bones, and it's all here. All of it. It's insane. It's insane, and available. It's insane, and it's scripted. So during your setups and stuff, you just click little things, and it helps you along the way. It's crazy, dude. But you know, granted, I've only actually played a handful of those games, but I tested all of them. They work wonderfully. So even fucking older obscure games are in there, like this horror game. I think I mentioned this on the show. It's called Nightmare, that my family played when I was a wee lad, you know, a little tiny guy, and you had to play a VHS tape to play the game. It's a board game. Comes with a VHS tape. You pop that fucker in, and the gatekeeper, he pops up. He looks like Darth Sidious, basically. And you have like an hour of game time, and you have to listen to him. He's talking to you, and if he says, you know, I'm talking to the player with the least amount of keys, you have to answer him. You have to be, yes, my gatekeeper, or everybody can tattle on you and say, you get fucking penalized because you didn't say yes, my gatekeeper. And dude, it was so cool. That is in here. And it has like a little, so cool. Yeah, it has a little tablet on the table in the game that plays the video. And it also, I didn't know Nightmare had sequels. It has the sequels in there.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's fucking crazy.
How do you get the VHS recording of the?
It's on YouTube.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So the little tablet, it has a link to the YouTube video, and you can just watch it like that. It's fucking awesome, dude. There's this old Jurassic Park game that I had. I had no idea how to play it. I was a child. I just liked dinosaurs, and I liked the little dinosaur miniatures and stuff. and one of my stepdad's friends bought me this board game. Jurassic Park game, very obscure 1990s Jurassic Park board game. This fucking thing used to give me deep ass cardboard cuts every single time I touched it. That game is in there. That game is in there.
With the cardboard cuts and all.
Cardboard cuts, just looking at it, just fucking deep ass cuts in my fingers, man. I used to hate it for that, but I used to love playing with the little T-Rex miniatures and stuff. And they had the little the visitor center little pop out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's just so cool. Fucking that's in there. You can fucking.
Did they have the Jeeps?
No, it didn't have the Jeep. I don't think so. No. But all these games also have their like scans, like actual scans of their rule books and all their guides and everything sitting on the table for you to flip through if you need to look at the rules or anything like that. It's all in all of these games. There's this game, 13 Dead End Drive, a game I always wanted as a child. That's in there. It's just insane how much value you're getting here, and people are always adding more to it. The community is alive and well, and they just put out a big update to their engine a couple of weeks ago. I'm currently sitting in a public beta for the new engine, and it works great. I haven't come across any issues. you can also look at tabletop sim as a way of preserving board games or making the most expensive ones in the world accessible to a larger audience. So yeah, but yeah, aside from recreating real life games, you can create a brand new game from scratch in here. So I'd imagine that if somebody out there had an idea for a board game, they can thoroughly test it out in Tabletop Simulator and maybe even use that as a proof of concept for the publishers, or at the very least, it'll give them access to play testers from all over the world. It's incredible.
I didn't even consider that. That's so fascinating.
Yeah, and I read a bunch of people's testimonies about how this game saved their game nights with their friends and family during the pandemic. And if families and friends are spread around the world, like if you move to Japan and you still wanted to get together, play some board games together, you can do that in this.
We can do that.
Yeah. I love that. I absolutely love that. I know damn well that if I ever have the space and the funds, I'm buying a bunch of the games that I mentioned. You know, like I already bought Plunder. We played that together.
Oh my God, Plunder was so much fun.
Yeah, dude.
I was addicted to it, bro.
Yeah, dude, it's a great game, and it's only like $40. But like, I tested it out first in Tabletop Simulator, and I was like, "Oh, dude, this is fucking great!" And I bought it. I bought the Night Cage. The Night Cage. I think I bought that first, and sometimes I'll toy around with it in Tabletop Sim. That one's really tough, but it was only like $20-$30. So I bought the physical one. I really want Fire Tower next. I love that game. I see it all the time when I'm at Barnes and Noble. I want it so bad.
That would be a great party game.
Yeah, Fire Tower. Yeah, fuck yeah,
with
dude.
The friends. Yeah, I remember when you and I played it. I thoroughly enjoyed it too. That shit was fun.
Yeah, we
gotta be real strategic
tabletop
about it.
Yeah, we played that in Tabletop.
You won. You had the advantage. You won me over. You played it before.
Just a little bit, dude. I'd love to show you how to play. Because we played Nemesis together, and we
that
actually,
was also a lot of fun.
We almost won. You were infected though. I think you were infected.
I was so close.
Yeah,
we were going to win, but I was infected and I ruined the whole thing.
Yeah, I'd love to play that with everybody, or even just another 2-player game. Fuck, that was so much fun. I'd love to play this. I'd love to show you how to play Too Many Bones. This is a good one, man. It's a really good one. It's great for one player, and I can only imagine how awesome it would be with two.
Is it a pirate game?
No. Too Many Bones is it's like a little dice builder RPG game where you play as little. Not gremlins. They look like not orcs, but they look like not trolls. Orcs, trolls, and what's the
goblins?
Goblins, yeah, they look like goblins, but they're called Gorlocks or Gearlocks or something like that. And it's basically a little RPG game. It's really fun. It's so fun. You're just going around and getting into combat situations and earning enough. You earn loot and you earn enough points to fight the big bad at the end of the game, and it's fucking dope. It's really fun, and it's but it's $120 something to get into the door in real life. So here in Tabletop Sim, you have that, and it's $1,000 worth of fucking extra content all in one place. It's insane, dude. Yeah, dude. I absolutely love Tabletop Simulator and everything that it does. I've never come across a game that I knew for a fact I would always keep on my hard drive until I came across this one. Tabletop Simulator is my number one discovery of the year, probably my discovery of the fucking decade. I love this game.
I think so. The amount of value that you get for just the one thing, because you can test, like you said, if you want to own the physical version of the game, you can test it within Tabletop Simulator first before you go through with it. And and then you got like the fun card games like Cards Against Humanity with all of its expansions thrown in. Like that's always a great time with friends, you know.
Yeah, and it's so nice because if we all wanted to get together but something was in the way and we couldn't, it's like, hey, I'm gonna be at home and I gotta keep an eye on the kids, whatever, it's like jump on the computer, jump into some tabletop, throw your little camera on, throw some headphones and a microphone, and let's play some fucking Uno, or something. Yeah, it's crazy. I love it. And you can play Dungeons and Dragons, legit Dungeons and Dragons in this. I have no idea how, but there are mods in there and everything for Dungeons and Dragons. It's crazy.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Tabletop Sim, man. Everybody's got to get this game. Everybody's got to get it.
Yeah, at some point in your life. How much is it normally?
$20 flat, but then it goes on sale pretty often to where you can buy a 4-pack for the same price.
Not bad.
And then you can give the 3 out to your friends.
Yeah, to your buddies. Yeah, that way everybody has a copy. Nice.
Yeah, Yeah, next time it goes on sale, I'm very tempted to just get a copy for everybody I fucking know. It's like, dude, we need to play this. we need to like just play some. I don't care if we just play some fucking poker. I don't care if we're just playing Cards Against Humanity.
Please.
Even it has What Do You Meme? The one that the ones that you bring, it has that and all the expansions,
and shit.
Yeah,
yes,
so we can play that at home if you wanted to.
We gotta.
Yeah.
That way I can see if they're worth the buy, because I do want to get the expansions.
Yeah, they got Exploding Kittens. That's another one I see all the time at the store. That's in there, and all the expansions. It's insane. Like, just go to the workshop and type in a fucking a card game, a board game, a dice game, anything, and it's probably in there.
You're
It's
almost guaranteed.
yeah, almost. I don't know. All right, I think I've gushed about this one enough. I think I've made my point. So
That's his number one, ladies and gentlemen.
that's my number one. So
Discovery of the decade.
yeah, Discovery of the Year from Glitch Ass Guys, Tabletop Simulator, and
Xenoblade
Xenoblade
Chronicles
Chronicles
X.
X.
You know it.
All right, shit.
It had
All
to
right,
be.
what do you say we move on to the community corner? We got a very important question for everybody.
All right. And the question of the week, a very obvious one at that. What is your Discovery of the Year, ladies and gentlemen? Let us know, and we'll read your responses on next week's episode.
And remember, you can always talk to us about anything. Any comments, questions, critiques, or suggestions are always very welcome. So hit us up, please.
Yes, sir. Now it's time to glitch out. That's more of a robot.
Yeah, it's time to
I
glitch
did
out.
kind of a robot. Yeah, just kind of got. Oh God! All right, be sure to check us out on TikTok and Instagram at Glitch Entertainment. We're also on Spotify for your auditory pleasure. Consider leaving us a good review or a great review, or might I suggest a stellar review.
Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay informed on more glitch ass content. Until next time, keep gaming and glitching. See ya.
Bye bye.